Hi everybody, welcome back to Game On. My name is Justin, and today we're going to be talking about Call of Cthulhu and its cousin game, Pulp Cthulhu. Now, I do want to let you know that this isn't an in-depth review of either of these games, nor is it a how to play either of these games in depth. But if you are interested in a video like that, please let us know in the comments below and like this video and hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed to us yet so that you can see us do that if that is what our subs want from us. But I would like to thank the Tabletop Dungeoneers Discord channel for this idea, sort of. We were talking about it in the Discord channel, which by the way is full of people who are interested in RPGs, tabletop games, war games, 3D printing, terrain making, all of that jazz. And we were talking about Call of Cthulhu. I'll have a link to them in the description below. We are a group of really cool people who really just like to talk about gaming and tabletop hobbies in general. This video is going to be describing the difference between the two and which one of these is the one that you should have for your table. As a player, you'll know the difference between the two, and as a keeper, which is the GM in this world, you'll have a better idea of which one might be best for your table if you know your table very well. So we are going to first take a look at Call of Cthulhu, but before I do want to give a quick comparison. Call of Cthulhu is The Thing by John Carpenter, and Pulp Cthulhu is Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. We'll get into that in just a second. Call of Cthulhu, my favorite RPG. I am a little bit biased on this. I did make a video of 5 reasons why you should be playing Call of Cthulhu. Catch, one of them is because it's free. So I do give you a little bit of a spoiler there. The quick start rules are free. But if you want to see the 5 reasons why I think it's so great, you should try it. Go check that link out. And it'll also be in the description. Go check that out after this video. Call of Cthulhu is that noir, dark and stormy night, spooky yet Maltese Falcon investigative type game where you are 99% of the time, your players, which are known as investigators, are trying to solve some sort of crime. Whether or not it's a murder case, a stolen artifact from a museum, maybe somebody went missing. It all has to do with the mythos, even if it's not completely deep diving into the mythos. It has something intertwined into it, whether or not the stolen dagger from the museum was a ceremonial knife that the cult wants back, or the person that died was just killed as a sacrifice killing for another cult or something else. It always has to do with some sort of mystery that has to be solved. Because of that, you are playing as a real person. You're playing as somebody who is conceivable to be able to play in many different timelines. Call of Cthulhu, the full rulebook, gives you rules for both the 1920s and for modern, but there's also World War II, there's also Gaslight, there's also Invictus, which is Roman times, and Dark Ages. So you can play Call of Cthulhu in mostly every time frame, but the classic is 1920s. This lets you play as somebody that you would think would be in your timeline. So let's say it's 1920s. So you're playing as maybe a G-man, or a police officer, or a vagrant, or a bar singer. And the idea is to slowly but surely unravel the case and find out really what's going on. And the more you do, the more you slowly start to kind of lose your sanity as you do so, because a lot of things can be quite horrific in Call of Cthulhu. You are playing as a regular person. So the most hit points that you can have if you're using the standard array is basically 15. 15 hit points might seem like a lot, but notice that guns maybe do 1d10, maybe multiple d10, multiple d6s if you're having shotguns, plus other pellet damages that some of these weapons use, as well as monsters that can do multiple d10s multiple times around. 15 hit points isn't that much. You can survive a gunshot, just like you can in real life, but you're probably not going to survive more than 2. So I want you to understand that this is a game where most of the time you do better as an investigator if you decide to duck in the shadows and not come out and try to fight the monster that is stalking you. Because not only is that monster going to maybe kill you almost outright, but that monster can also cause you to lose your sanity. Losing sanity in Call of Cthulhu, there is an air of you can't play more than one game of Call of Cthulhu. That's not totally true. There are great globe-spanning campaigns like Massive Nyarlathotep where you can play as mostly the whole character, the whole game. But you do slowly lose your sanity, and sometimes you can lose it in one go. At least a good chunk of it in one go in Call of Cthulhu. So don't feel like you can only play one-shots in Call of Cthulhu. However, if you don't play your cards right, playing one shot as one character, it might be all that you do if you decide to jump out in front of a monster, because you can go mad. Not only that, but you can die, or you can basically lose all of your luck, and that's not good either. So, Call of Cthulhu, it's one of those games where you want to slowly but surely take your time to understand what's going on. Look for all the clues. Role play, it's really heavy into role play. It's also not the kind of game where you should expect to cast magic and fight a lot. You can cast magic in Call of Cthulhu. It slowly eats away at you as you do it, though. It takes a little bit of you every time you do it, and you slowly lose your sanity. It's not good. The tome of the Keeper Rulebook has tons of different examples of phobias and manias that you can get if you go mad. So it does allow for some really fun role-playing as well as some hitches in your plans. Because if somebody loses the comprehension of like object permanency or something while they're in the middle of an investigation, that's really fun to deal with. But it's also, some people might not like that. So keepers, keep track of that if that is something that is good for your table. This is not a kick down the door kind of game. This is a let's investigate everything else before we go into the door. Now, Pulp Cthulhu is almost the complete opposite. In Pulp Cthulhu, you're not playing as investigators, you're playing as heroes, because you are a larger-than-life hero. Think of those pulp magazines that Lovecraft actually used to write for back in his career. You are playing as those people that they write in weird tales, those people that can do crazy, non-human things for the sake of entertainment. In Pulp Cthulhu, you are the most hit points. Like we said that your hit points could be 15 in Call of Cthulhu. Well, here your hit points can be 30, and not only that, but you get much more survivable traits and abilities that make it so that you can survive much more fighting and sanity-inducing monsters. Because the whole idea of Pulp Cthulhu is you're not playing regular investigators. Here you are playing as an archetype and then an occupation. So I like to think of your archetype as kind of your class, and then your occupation as more of your background, if we're talking in like 5th edition D&D terms. They meld together and they make a really good synergistic character concept. Not only that, but you also get really cool traits and feats which are very much like the feats in Dungeons & Dragons or Pathfinder or Starfinder that let you do some really, really cool things and really make a character that is fine-tuned to something that you want. So in Call of Cthulhu, you're like, well, yeah, I understand that my mechanic knows how to do mechanics. And he has some other skills that can help him out, but he doesn't really know a whole lot other than what he knows from his occupation and real life. Where in Pulp Cthulhu, you get a lot more skills, you're a little bit more well-rounded, and you have the ability to participate in a little bit more stuff, as well as take more of a beating. In Pulp Cthulhu, you want to fight. You want to fight in Pulp Cthulhu. It's a lot more exciting to fight in Pulp Cthulhu than it is in Call of Cthulhu. Because in Call of Cthulhu, if you lose your sanity, you're screwed. In Pulp Cthulhu, if you lose your sanity, you get something called an insane trait, which allows you to do lots of cool things. I'll give you two examples. One lets you immediately see in the dark. Like you just go into like D&D style dark vision and you can just see what you need to see. There's also insane accuracy that lets you like not miss anything with your guns. So basically you look at this monster, it jumps out in front of you and you go, ah, pew, 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 and you can't miss. Like you suddenly just become so insanely good at shooting, or you became so insanely good at seeing things in the dark that you kind of get better as you punish your character more. Not only that, but you're more survivable in Pulp Cthulhu because you can spend luck points to keep yourself alive. In Call of Cthulhu, if you get shot in the head, you're done. In Pulp Cthulhu, if you get shot in the head and you have, I do believe it's 30 luck points, at least 30 luck points left, well, that bullet actually, somehow, you didn't even know, curves around your head. Like physics stops working suddenly and you are insanely lucky, and that 1911 .45 caliber right to the head goes around your head and you survive it. It doesn't even hit you, you don't die. So there in Pulp Cthulhu you can pull literally luck out of your butt and you can do crazy things. So Call of Cthulhu is more of a investigative slow burn style game, whereas Pulp Cthulhu is more like other RPGs that lets you do some crazy over the top things. So in closing, I thank you guys very much for watching. I hope that this was helpful for you guys to understand the difference between the two games. Call of Cthulhu being that slow investigative style noir kind of game, whereas Pulp Cthulhu is more along the lines of other kinds of RPGs. It allows you to do larger than life things and blow up monsters with awesome guns. So I hope this helps you as a keeper and as a player decide which one of these is better for you. I do want to let you know that Pulp Cthulhu you cannot play without Call of Cthulhu. So you're going to end up getting this book anyway. This is more of an add-on. It's kind of like an expansion pack from those old computer games that we used to play. So just remember that. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate it. Let us know in the comments what you'd like to see next, and always game on.